Welcome to the Idaho Business Podcast, the only Idaho podcast focused on providing profits for Idaho people. If you love our state and love small business, you are in the right place. We interview local legends, learn business, and have way too much fun doing it. You're listening to the Idaho Business Podcast with your friend, host, and all-around great guy and owner of New Clean Commercial Cleaning, Spencer Ward.
All right, everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Idaho Business Podcast. I am back. Just got back from a trip from Texas, hot Texas. Beautiful Texas, though. I had some continuing education courses. I know you're thinking, what is this guy in janitorial industry doing with continuing education? What does he learn how to scrub toilets better? No, it's learning how to run my business better. Mastermind group that I'm a part of. It's all about business and putting processes in place. Same thing we talk about on this podcast. I'm a part of a fantastic group with some great people in the same type of industry, and a great guy that's leading us. So, as always, let's get back into it. We are sponsored by Dale's Outdoor Advertising. These guys are fantastic. Give them a call. Give Rob a call right now. If you have not given him a call and you've listened to many episodes, just give him a call. See what he can do for you. And if you haven't tried any kind of billboard advertising, you are missing out. Okay, I know you've probably tried Facebook. You're probably the type that's tried one Facebook ad and you're like, oh, it didn't work, so I'm giving up on that. So no advertising is going to work for my type of business. It just doesn't work for my type of business. You're wrong. Unfortunately, that's the case. You're wrong. I'm going to be the first one to tell you that. If I'm not the first one. Give Rob a call, 232-6886. See what he has available. Some of these options are very inexpensive. Sign up for at least a 3-month deal and get your installation for free or your first month for free, just by telling him that you heard about him and the advertising company that he's part of on the podcast. There you go, guys. Let's go forward here, man. I was listening to a podcast. Ed Mylett, you guys know he's a personal hero of mine. Along with, obviously my personal heroes, my father, my mother. I love those people as well. And I'm also reading a book by Ed Mylett. It's called The Power of One More. And I figured, it's impacted me a lot as I've been reading it. And I wanted to just kind of give a little episode about that today because it's so powerful. He also did an episode on his podcast as well. That he gave the speech about the power of one more. But in a glimpse, really, the power of one more is exactly what it sounds like. In life, we have opportunities, we have challenges, we have everything, at our fingertips. And how many times do we quit when before we see the fruits of our labor? And the premise of the book and the speech that he's giving is do it one more time. Make one more sales call. Go to one more baseball game. Tell your wife you love her one more time. Tell your spouse you love them one more time. Tell your daughter, tell your son you love them one more time. Give that one more hour of service. Do those things as you continue throughout your life, because you never know when it's going to be your last one more. We've talked about this a lot in this podcast. I've said the number in the past podcasts before, but I think it's a substantial number, and I know you guys will probably go back and correct me. But I know it's probably changed it over and over again, but it's substantial. I know it's anywhere from like 85,000 to 150,000 people that do not wake up the following day. And unfortunately, to those heartbroken parents in Texas just recently, they never knew that their one more time of saying goodbye to their sweet child was going to be that day. So how do we take that into our lives? As we are leading a business, as we're leading our family or leading our friends, how do we let that influence us? And Ed Milet talked about how that's what drove him. That's what brought him to the success he has now, and what's contributed to making him a good man, a man that he can be proud of. And he said today on one of his podcasts that he feels like when we get to heaven, we're going to meet the version of ourselves that God designed us to become. And it's either going to be we've reached that version of ourselves, or we've fallen short of that version of ourselves. And it's going to be either a great time of like, wow, I became what I was designed to become, or shoot, I could have given one more of this. I could have done one more of that. I could have done, I could have done one more of this. That could have brought you closer to that mark that you need to be at. And I think about that in my own life, like thinking, what more can I do? And I know you can drive yourselves nuts thinking about this too, as you think, what one more can I do? Because those OCD types out there that'll probably be in their office all night long now. Okay, let's not do that. You're gonna be the type that's okay. One more call. Okay, I'll take that one more call. One more email. I'll do that one more email. Okay, what else can I do? Don't do that, guys. Like, obviously, do it within reason. Because you gotta have balance. Get home to your loved ones, your friends, whatever your support system is, and have that balance. Because you're never gonna know when your last one more is gonna be. And when it comes that day that your last one more is going to happen, and you hopefully enter the pearly gates, you're not going to thinking, dang it, I wish I had that one more deal in my business to close. You're gonna be thinking more, I wish I spent more time with my spouse. I wish I would have caught more of my boys or girls baseball games or dance recitals or that kind of thing. And I've talked to many business owners on this podcast and throughout my life, and I've heard a lot of regrets. And that's something I've tried to keep track of in my life, because there's things I've missed. There's things I've had to miss because there's important things I have to take care of to keep companies running. But there's also times that I can play hooky and say, no matter what, I'm not missing this. And my company can go on. And that's why you have processes in place. And that's why we talk about all the things we talk about on this podcast, of, putting these processes and campaigns in place to run things automatically as you continue to run your company. So things can literally run without you being there. I really feel like I could step away from my business for months and just have a laptop wherever I'm at, and my company would still run because we have hiring systems set up. I could still, call clients here and there. Now, am I in the time and place in my life that I could do that? No. I've got kids. I've got school, and I'm the type that I'm going to make plenty of excuses not to do it. But I know that I have the processes in place to do it. I have been gone multiple weeks at a time, and it's ran itself fine because I have good leaders in place. But the biggest thing is I have processes in place to allow me to do that one more time, one more trip with my family, one more, allow me to have even more time to do one more deal, one more email. So I'm not weighed down with the minutia of, I've got to do this. I've got to make phone calls over here. I've got to order this over here. All the small stuff you shouldn't be doing as an owner. So take the message of the power of one more from Ed, which freak, this guy is amazing. Like he is a personal hero. I love this guy. If you're not listening to his podcast, you should be. You're missing out a ton by not listening. So listen to his podcast. Something popped up on my screen. I don't know why. Anyways, short and sweet one today, guys and gals. But that's what I wanted to get out is the power of one more. Have that in your head and think about it throughout this week. What can you do? What can you do one more time to better your circumstances where you're at right now, with your family, with your friends, with your work, providing service for those people around you, to make you a better, well-rounded individual. So just remember that. And as always, we're sponsored by my company, New Clean Commercial Cleaning, servicing from currently Burley all the way to Rexburg. And if you're a business that needs some help of some janitorial services, carpet cleaning, some tile and ground cleaning, all the good stuff, window cleaning, give us a call. 208-254-7070. Mention that you heard about us on the podcast, and we will give you either your 2 restrooms, tile and grout cleanings for free, or your break room cleaned for free. Just tile and grout absolutely for free, just by saying you heard about us on the podcast. So until then, till next week, guys, go out and conquer your day, love life, enjoy life, because like I said, you'll never know when it's going to be your last one more. So enjoy your life, go out there, love it to the fullest. And I'm telling this just because I'm literally pointing at you, because 4 fingers are pointing back at me, because I went through months of, even this year, of not enjoying who I was or enjoying my circumstances, and I should have. So until then, guys, go out there and kill it. Be positive, stay away from those negative Nancy's, and just dominate your day, dominate your week. Adios.
Congratulations on spending a couple of minutes getting a little bit smarter, having some fun, and supporting the Idaho business community. If you're feeling the love, make sure to subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever you are.